Hi everyone. Well, as you can see, I've decided to paint my leaky bucket. I've liked this bucket, had it in the garden for quite a long time. It's often full of rain and it's really aged and has algae all down the sides and bits of old concrete set into it, and it's got a bit of a leak. And ever since I saw a painting by Andrew Wyeth about 40 years ago of a bucket, I've always looked for what makes such a simple object interesting. So I decided to give this one a go, seeing as the weather was really beautiful and I'd been in the studio all morning and I really wanted to paint outside. So I've laid in the drawing in blue, and it's a Caran d'Ache pencil, which will kind of dissolve and disappear as the acrylic goes over it. The drawing was relatively accurate but simple, and I'm painting alla prima, which means in one go, really. So I'm trying to accurately capture all the different tones and the different colours as I go along, so I don't have to overpaint any parts particularly. I didn't have a lot of time. The light was moving across very quickly and the image was soon cast into shadow, and the bucket itself, the light was changing on that all the time. So working this way was the only real way that I could do it, but the light was really interesting on it. Here I'm trying to paint in the water itself, which is a considerably dark value, one of the darkest values of the whole study. So you can see the light, the shadow has come across the sketchbook and it makes it rather poor viewing for a moment or two, but when you're working outside you've got to contend with these light issues, and I've got no diffuser to keep the light from altering what I'm doing, and as I said before, time is of the essence. So the inside of the bucket is a kind of yellow ochre, and the handle is laying down. It's casting this beautiful little curved shadow which adds a bit of interest, and then the bottom is a sort of burnt umber, the bottom skirt, burnt umber colour with a bit of light red in it, and I'm just working as fast as I can to capture it all, get these lovely colours and the warm glow of that evening sun. So I'm using a bit of time-lapse, speeding things up a little, and I'm using a very fine brush, just drawing with it, drawing into the structure, following the form, using the fine brush to its advantage, and really drawing with paint as I go. And then sadly the light went completely, and so I moved into the studio, as you can see here, and I'd taken some photographs to finish off working from, but luckily I'd got most of the bucket itself down, but that shadow was fairly simple, so I thought, well, I can get away with painting that from photographs, and the rest of the painting is quite simple, as it's just a little sketchbook study. I thought, why not finish it in the studio and just make it a bit more of a page. I paint carefully up to the lines that I'd drawn in, which were basically drawn before I did much else, and I'd used my viewing device, which is why you can see the grid in the background, just to speedily capture this drawing. It's a great device, and I will post a video soon on how to use it. Anyway, the shadow just needed reaffirming and strengthening up, so that's what I'm doing at the moment in the painting. So we're really coming towards the end of this study, and it's going to be an unfinished page. There's no priming on this page. It was straight onto the white watercolour paper and acrylic. The shadow really gives it some strength and holds it to the page, makes it stand out, makes the light look a lot stronger, even though the white of the paper is still the lightest part. And now I'm painting in paving slabs, which simple concrete slabs that are slightly greeny grey. Just working round, filling in all the areas. It's quite a simple way of painting, but as you can see, reasonably effective. I could work on and on with it, but I think I've said what I need to say. I'm going to add a highlight of accent of red, which is just there to sort of represent the bricks of the step, but that just gives it a little bit more contrast and complementing the greens in the bucket. So great subject to paint, and as you can see, I'm just tightening up a bit of the drawing and just consolidating a few of the things, slightly overpainting certain areas, putting in some small highlights and finishing touches really. I could have painted the whole background, but I quite like the unfinished sketch study. So I hope you found the video informative. Please like and subscribe.